Okay guys, I've been doing a little bit more filling of my crack. Now I don't know if you guys remember the damage I had here from when I had the bolt-on slider, and I had like a spike bolt-on slider. What happened was when the motorcycle went over, this bent back and it made like a crease in here. So this got filled in. There was actually a crack. I didn't think there was a crack in it. See, what I also did back here, I strengthened it up with a little bit of mesh tape, fiberglass mesh tape. Now what I did is I used JB Weld. Let's see here. I hope my dog didn't get the other one. Oh, here they are. Now this comes in two parts. I don't know if most of you guys probably used it, but that's what I did. I strengthened this up with JB Weld, and I also did the same to this too. Remember that crack that was in here? Put some mesh tape there. The first what I did is I grooved the crack. I made a valley in the crack. That way there'll be some material that can sit down inside the crack. And then I put some JB Weld over the tape, and I sandwiched that tape with some JB Weld in 24 hours. And it's pretty good. I just have to fill this in a little bit more. But what you do is you sand it down. I sanded it down with, this is about 400 grit. Now the thing was, when you sand stuff down, the particles of your sandpaper are going to make scratches. The coarser your sandpaper is, the deeper your scratches are going to be. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to remove those scratches with finer and finer sandpaper. What I have here is this is like yeah, this is more like probably a 200 grit. This is a 400 grit. So I'm not ready for the 400 grit just yet. We're going to fill in a couple more of these scratches. Then we're going to go over it with the 200, and then we'll sand out the 200 scratches with the 400. And then I'm going to sand out the 400 scratches with 800. And then once I'm ready to paint the whole thing, I'm going to wet sand. I'm going to get like the gloss. I'm going to take the gloss off the paint with 1500 grit. Then we're going to prime it. Then we're going to sand the primer. I'll go over all you guys with the whole process. Now, if you have light scratches, instead of using Bondo, you can use glazing putty. Since I really don't have things that are real deep anymore, I have like this little, I don't know if you guys can see it. See that right there? That's like a little pinhole. There's a couple little spots here that aren't real good. We're going to fill those in with glazing putty. Glazing putty, you can't really make it real deep, but you can go over like little pinholes, scratches. You know, that's what glazing putty is good for. Then once this dries, we'll sand it down with the 200. Then we'll sand down the 200 scratches with 400. We'll sand down the 400 scratches with 800. And then we'll sand down the 800 scratches with 1500. We'll do the entire surface with 1500. Then we'll prime it. Then we'll sand down the primer with 2000 grit. And if I'm satisfied with that finish, we're going to paint it. That's how you get. And it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be near perfect. Guys, I'm going to fill in a couple of my scratches here with my glazing putty, and I'll catch you guys later. Oh yeah, before I close it off, I got my oil. I'm going with my my modal again. We're going to go with this. This was 1 gallon. I got this at Cycle Gear. I paid a little bit more for it. Amazon was $30.99. Cycle Gear is $46.99. But this oil here, I used this before. I love this oil. And naturally, you know, the K&N oil filter with the wrench tip, with the socket tip on front there. Yeah, the wrench off tip. You can see it there. So when you change the oil, might as well change the oil filter too. I'll catch you guys later.